Hey all, it's September, and that's got me thinking about the line from 10 Things I Hate About You. You can be underwhelmed and you can be overwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed? I would love to be whelmed right now. Hey guys, it's September 1st and a beautiful sunny day. However, I am already starting behind the 8 ball for September and it's barely even noon. So today I have an interview later on for the app Likewise. Likewise is really cool. It has like a community aspect to it, but if you put in things that you like, it will also suggest other things like books or movies or TV shows that you might also like, so you can kind of expand your reach on the things that you enjoy. So I am rocking my fairy tale t-shirt as this chat is going to be about retellings, and I'm going to be talking about Dreamer and my other retellings. I probably will give some spoilers about Fierce that's coming up later in this year, and yeah, so that should be really fun. Plus I've read a few of the authors on the panel as well, so I kind of get to fangirl as well as be an author, which is kind of cool. But yeah, September, I can't believe it's already here. It feels a little intimidating. I think part of it is just because everything is kind of ramping up for the year already. I start next week back in my office. When I started this channel back in 2020, January of 2020, end of the month there, I had filmed out a few videos to get myself ahead and get my channel started. So that took me into later February. By the middle of March, I was already working from home, and I've been working from home ever since. So the prospect of going back to my office feels like this really big kind of elephant in the room in terms of the lifestyle that I've had for the last year and a half is really going to change. It's going to add commute time to my life. It's going to add, you know, packing my lunch and dressing up and doing those things that I've done for years and years and years and years and years, but have kind of really taken for granted this last year and a half when I haven't had to do them. So it's going to be very interesting getting back into that. The nice thing about that though is it'll probably establish me a little bit more into routine. I've kind of had this feeling, even though I've been here for a long time now at home working, it's kind of given me this feeling that it was always a shoe that was going to drop. At some point, I could be going back to the office at any time, and I never really settled in. I was always had one foot out the door because I knew it was never going to be a permanent thing. So coming back into the office feels kind of weird. I'm not actually going to be going back full-time. I'm still going to be working full-time, but I'm actually doing a hybrid situation where I'll be working a few days from home and a few days from the office. So it's going to be very interesting to find out which days I'm more productive. Am I more productive when I'm in the office and I have a set schedule? And when I was working, I used to dictate on my way to work, or I would write on my lunch break and things like that. When I'm working from home, I'm a little bit more in flux. I don't necessarily take lunch breaks as much as I should, or breaks where I normally would, because I know I'm going to, you know, sometimes throw in a load of laundry or go start my dinner early. So I don't really take like traditional breaks in my day when I'm working from home. So it'll be interesting to see where my productivity is with all that. Plus, with everything opening up and with it being fall, my kids are starting back into school, which should be a great thing as it will get them out of the house and get them seeing their friends again, which they desperately, desperately need, and will give me a bit of a break that way. Plus, they're also starting sports. So we are right in the middle of tryout season. We are going to be starting tryouts right on Tuesday. Sorry, it's a long weekend. We'll be starting tryouts on Tuesday with my older son, and I believe we start on Wednesday with my younger one, and that's going to go pretty much for the entire month of September. Starting on Monday, I'm also doing the Write Better Faster course with Becca Syme, so I'm hoping that that's going to help me establish better routines for writing. As I kind of mentioned in my August video, I've got like 10 books that I want to write in the next 3 years or so. That doesn't seem like a lot of time, but a lot of them are series related, and it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to publish them or have them edited or released, but I would really like to get some writing done and get those out. So Fierce, I'm expecting will probably come out at the end of the year. It is a possibility it will be ready for like November, but once we get into that Christmas season, I find it's kind of hides books a little bit. I might change my mind because it is nice to have those paperbacks out before Christmas if people want them for Christmas presents. But I do find once you get past like American Thanksgiving and Black Friday, books just kind of take a bit of a back seat to Christmas shopping and holiday shopping and all that stuff. So it'll probably come out later in December. And then I want to be jumping into my next series. So I'm hoping by the time that book actually releases at the end of December, then I'm going to have a good chunk of that first book done for a trilogy that I have planned. And then I have 2 other trilogies that I want to do after that. One's going to be paranormal. One's actually going to be contemporary romance. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. However, I'm going to have to get into a really good mindset of making sure that I'm getting my writing done. So I probably will participate in Nano this year. I'm really hoping that I will. And even if it's not a traditional Nano, I'm just expecting to do a lot of words in November. But sitting here on September 1st and knowing all of the things that are going to be coming up in September, I'm kind of having a little bit of a panic attack, but I know it's all going to play out. It kind of happens every year where I get very, very busy in September. We are actually having a garage sale in 2 weeks, so that's going to take some of my time away. And Comic-Con is coming up at the end of October, so I'm going to need to take some inventory of the books that I have in my office at this time and figure out what I need to order and what I want to bring in. But I also don't want to do it too early in case this event gets canceled and then I end up with a bunch of stock that I don't need. So this is going to be an interesting month. Hopefully I'm going to have some great footage for you, and I will see you all later. Hey everyone, it's September 3rd. I've actually spent most of my morning getting the rest of my videos together for the Back to School Author Academy. I really hope that you have enjoyed it, because by the time you see this vlog, it will already be over. I really like talking about literary devices, and if you did get a chance to watch those videos, hopefully that's going to shine through a little bit. But if you do want to have more videos like that, make sure you're leaving them in the comments below, and I'll try to work that into my content. Today is going to be a bit of a mismatch of different things. Obviously I did the videos. I probably want to get some editing done, and then I have a bunch of errands to run with my kids, so I'm not really sure how much writing and stuff that I'm going to get done, especially this weekend. We are having a garage sale coming up, but I am starting the Write Better Faster course on Monday, so I'm pumped about that. This might be my really last weekend to try and get other things in while I'm not writing, and then work on getting a bunch of writing done for the rest of September. So haven't quite figured out if I just want to enjoy it or if I want to give myself a little bit of a break by getting some stuff done over the next couple of days. I guess it'll just depend on how I feel and if I get some time to myself, which would be lovely. It is a long weekend here. We do celebrate Labor Day over the first weekend of September, so I will be off on Monday, so that does give me a little bit of extra time, but I haven't figured out if that's going to be vacation or if it's going to be writing. How do you decide if you want to write or take vacation? Do you just base it on how you feel, on weird deadlines, or do you just write every day and that's the way it goes? So I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you're leaving that in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Hey everyone, it's September 5th. It is a Sunday, and I'm just about to get down into writing some words right here. Very excited about that. So today was a busy day. I started getting garage sale stuff done. I got the last of my videos for my Author Academy series uploaded, so all of my content pretty much for September for YouTube is already up and ready to go. I typically don't like to be that far ahead, but I know what I'm doing in this series in terms of which videos are going to come next and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really going to change. Whereas I like to try and be a little bit more timely, or things that I'm, working through, etc., as I plan my videos out. So I also really like to have videos filmed kind of every week, just because it gets me into that routine of having it in my schedule. I find when I give myself big breaks like this that I kind of get out of it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now I need videos for everything, and it takes a little bit to jog into it. It's kind of like when you stop writing for a long time and then you go back to do your work, it gets a little harder to start out again. So, but for this series, I think it's going to be a good idea. I need to get words done on this book. It's going to be really busy for me coming up, spending more time in the office. My kids have tryouts. It's going to be busy, and taking the Write Better Faster course, which starts tomorrow. So I'm going to need to get on top of that. So before I start the words, I'll probably do a little bit of cleaning in here, not a total overhaul because I don't have time for that if I want to write something, and just to get some of the papers off of my desk. I also got some of the photos done that I needed for social media, and so it's been a busy day. Hey everyone. It's September 12th, and yes, I am lying on the floor of my office. Basically, I've just kind of come to a crash point. I've been working all week towards a garage sale that we were doing, and I was basically on my feet for 2 days in the sun. My whole neck is sunburned, actually. I really should have taken care of that. And I think just kind of being busy and stressed about that, and some of the projects that I'm working on at work and working on this book, that I just like totally hit a wall today, and I'm just done. I had so many things on my to-do list. I'm still trying to get through the stuff that's not requiring a ton of brain power, like set up my planner for next week and do a couple of those things. Maybe I'll try and get some reading done. But I'm not really sure how productive I'm going to be. This whole week, writing wise, has been pretty much a wash, which is kind of disappointing, but also kind of expected. I had kind of hoped to get some stuff in as I was kind of moving forward. And actually today I had really anticipated being done with all that stuff from last week so that today I could actually concentrate on the stuff that I wanted to do. But obviously my brain and my body have decided that they're like, no, we need a rest day. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm trying to get through a few things, but hopefully I will feel better tomorrow. And I had the whole evening to myself, so I was really, really hoping that I was going to be able to get some writing done, but I'm just so tired. Maybe if I can get a nap in, there's a possibility I could get some stuff done, but I think I'm just going to assume that I'm not getting anything done. Do you guys have days like this now and again where you just can't function? I don't typically have them very often, but sometimes it just happens. So what do you do to get you out of a total energy funk? Or do you just let it go and try again tomorrow, which is the plan that I'm going to be going for. So see you later. Hello, everyone. It's September 15th, and I really need to stop treating Michael's like an office decor shop. So I went to their Halloween department again, and I got more things for my office. And although everybody's like, oh, you're decorating for Halloween, I was like, no, this is my office year round, but I'm excited about it, so I wanted to show you what I got. So I got this. It is just like a picture kind of thing that you can put up. It's just obviously a page and then this really cool skull thing with the roses and stuff on top. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's super cute, really fun. I just love those little pops of pink in there, and I just really like it. I'm not really sure where I'm going to put it, if I'm going to put it on the wall or whatever, but it's fun and I love it. And the second thing I got was a book. So this is, it says The Art of Theranthropy. Theranthropy would be shifters, so the ability to shift. So I thought that was kind of cool, and it had this really neat little bat. It's very old school kind of thing. Plus, it's super fun because it's one of those like secret box things, and totally unnecessary, something I definitely didn't need, but I bought it anyway. And then the third thing I got is for my chair, and that's this really cute little pillow that says The Curiosity Shop, rare objects and oddities, and I thought it was really cool with the skull and the raven and stuff. So I've just been kind of using that as a comfort piece on my chair. I do have some really cute black fluffy pillows. Ideally, I'm sure everybody's seen the piano in the corner. Can't really miss the piano. But if we ever get a chance to move the piano out of here, which I'm promised at some point we probably will, I do have like a wooden chest with like a back to it that would be like almost like a seat. So I'd really like to be able to put like this pillow, my fluffy black pillows on there, and it'd be a really cute little reading bench in here, which I would be really excited about. So hopefully that's going to happen. But I did want to show you the fun things that I got at Michael's. You'll probably see them in videos and such coming up because they are going to be permanent fixtures in here. And yeah, so if you get a chance to check out Michael's Halloween department, they have some really cool stuff right now. And if this is kind of your jam, you might want to just check it out for, you know, decorating for Christmas. Who knows? Hey everyone, it's me, and it's September 19th and an unseasonably hot day in Winnipeg. It's going to be like 34 degrees Celsius for the end of September, which is ridiculous. But I guess it's the last weekend of summer, so I guess that kind of makes sense. So today I am actually doing some counting and packing and inventory on the books that I have. I'm doing Comic-Con at the end of October, so I need to figure out how many books I need to order I was planning on ordering at the beginning of October, but I've been getting a lot of notices, I'm sure you have in your inbox, saying that supplies and things are going to be behind. So if you're going to order, order early. So I figured I would get on top of it and get my books ordered for this show. So I pulled out all the books in this one, and they were actually all in my closet and my bookshelves, counted them all out, and then figured out what I needed for this show and what I need to order so I can place that order. So the nice thing is that I actually do have a lot of some of my titles already, so that's not so bad. But the other part is like, I'm always awful at trying to figure out how many copies of something that I need to order, because you never really know. Comic-Con, for instance, is a 3-day show, but they're not really there for authors so much. It's more of, you know, that whole Comic-Con cosplay, meet the celebrities kind of thing. So I could sell a lot, I could not. And I don't really want to be lugging way too many books to the convention center that I'm not going to sell, and then I'm stuck with all of this inventory. Or on the other hand, I don't want to get like halfway through Saturday and be like, I have nothing left to sell. So hopefully I found that happy medium. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. And then hopefully I'm going to get outside for a little while because it is so hot, and enjoy that last really hot day of summer. So if you are interested in how I calculate my inventory, I'm considering doing a video about it. If you'd like to know more about it, just leave that in the comments below, and I will basically give you a tutorial on how I track my inventory, not necessarily the physical books, but how I track my costs and everything. I talked about this in my book signings video about making sure that you have accurate costs on your books when you do signings. I have a background as an accountant, so inventory and doing those kinds of numbers really makes sense to me. So I could do something where I break down what I do, because the thing is too that I had to do today is I had to count out everything I had and compare it against my spreadsheet to make sure that I had the right numbers when I was calculating that amount. So if you are interested in that, put comments below, and I will be sure to get that video done for you guys. Have a nice day. So, official time of death, 10:22 a.m., September 23rd, 2021. I have officially canceled my editor for Fierce. It's not that Fierce isn't happening, it's just not happening the way that I would like it to. As you've probably seen in my vlogs over the last little while, I have been working on Fierce for way too long for a short novel. Anyhow, a lot of that comes from a lot of stress that I've had with Sleepless and other things that have been going on. I'm starting to take the Write Better Faster course to learn more about myself and what I need to do to, you know, get things in line. However, I had booked an editor. I had actually booked this editor to do Raised back, I think it was like September, October of last year, expecting that within a year I should be able to get to that book. And not only that, I had expected to release Fierce already back in June and then have Raised done by this point in time. It has not happened. I know Sleepless really kind of took its toll on me, and it is what it is. That ship has sailed. But over the summer I did not draft as much as I would have liked. Maybe it's just something with me. Maybe it's the state of the world still not being what it's supposed to be. Maybe I'm second guessing the plot. I'm not really sure why it's taking me so long to write this book, but I do need to knuckle down and get it done. I'm getting there, and for the last week I've basically convinced myself that I could write probably about 20,000 words in like 4 days, and then I have it edited enough to actually give it to a copy editor by next Friday. And maybe I could do it, maybe it's possible, but A, I would totally kill myself to do it, and B, how good's it really gonna be? I know some people can do things that fast, and I'm not judging. I'm talking about me, myself, as to whether or not I'm going to be happy with that draft handing it in next Friday. So I've been really trying to think that I could do this. I don't think it's going to happen, and I'm thinking I'm better off just not to. And maybe I will get through this weekend, because I do plan on writing this weekend and keep the momentum going with this book, and maybe it will be in a decent position by next Friday. But it's really not fair to my editor, who could probably book somebody else in or bump somebody else up, if I'm going to be like canceling at the last minute, which is totally rude and not something I want to do. I'm super disappointed in myself because that's not really how I want to run my business, by canceling on service providers, because you know, editors are super important and you don't really want one on your bad side. You want them to be able to help you out when you need it. So I am going to get probably to that place I am with pre-orders, in the sense that I will have a final draft in hand before I book an editor, at least for the near future. Once I get back into my flow and I know what I'm capable of again, then I will do that. Back last year, I thought I was capable of getting that amount of writing done by October 1st. Clearly, I was wrong. I misjudged everything. I misjudged this year just in general. There's also other things going on with me. I started a new position where I am at work. There's a lot of stuff kind of in flux going on in my personal life and my work life right now. So that's causing a little bit of extra stress on top of it, which I think is probably leading into the me not writing the way that I want to. Fortunately, I am starting to get back into that flow, and I have been seeing that over the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, it's too little, too late. So I had to cancel. I feel awful about canceling, but I think that it's the right thing to do. I don't know what this means for this book now. I know I'm still going to finish it, and then I'm going to need to book a new editor or see if she will take me on. However, this editor is, I know, booking solidly into 2022 already. So even if I did manage to book with her again, it still wouldn't be until probably February or March of next year. And unfortunately, that's something I'm just going to have to deal with, at least for the time being, where I'm just going to have to write, book, and then just wait and work on another project while I'm waiting to get those edits done. I have a lot of plans, a lot of things that I want to do, a lot of books that I want to write. So hopefully if I keep up this momentum that I have going through September, reasonably, I think I could be done by the end of October, as long as I keep going with that vibe. I think the Write Better Faster class has really been helping me out. But like I said, too little, too late. It would have been great for me to take back probably in July or August, and maybe I'd be in a better position right now. So that's where I'm at for today. I'm actually pretty bummed out. I'm kind of smiling and stuff, but I just actually feel really shitty. I feel really awful about having to do this and having to push this book. Fortunately, I did not put anything up for pre-order, so at least I've learned that lesson this year. So the nice thing though is, as much as it's a delay on this book, everybody kind of understands that people are behind. There are so many authors I've seen that are just not releasing to the level this year that they would have, just because last year was so difficult for them creatively and still going into 2021. So it's kind of a bit of a dip, but even if I have to wait for editing on this one, my next book should be quicker, hopefully, because I'll be able to write that ahead of time and then, you know, be looking for that editor and getting all that organized while I'm waiting for the editor on the last book. So that should be a positive thing, and maybe give me a little bit of a chance to, you know, get a book ahead or something, which would really be lovely, but we will see what happens. So yeah, that's my day. Have you ever had a situation where you've had to cancel on an editor, cover designer, anything like that, because you just weren't ready? How did you deal with it? Let me know. Hey guys, it's September 25th. And I'm just sitting here painting my fingernails, some fun Halloween colors, because I'm hoping to take some shots for my Instagram, probably either tomorrow or later this week or something like that, because October's coming, which is really exciting for me, especially somebody who writes paranormal-ish type stories. Anyhow, kind of, you know, weird spot right now. Obviously, my last update was a bit of a bomb there. I canceled my editor, and now I have no idea when this book is coming out because I haven't finished writing it yet. I'm actually really disappointed in myself that it came to this, but I'm also not surprised either. As if you've been following my vlog so far, of course, the year I decided to do vlogs is like my worst productivity year. But I've been struggling creatively for a little while. Started with Sleepless, and then my summer just wasn't as productive. I know there's a lot of people who are struggling with it just simply because of the state of the world and all that sort of thing. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe it's not. I'm really not sure. So I'm just going to keep on keeping on. But the thing that I find really unsettling right now is that I actually have 0 deadlines. And
I'm not sure if that's going to be the best or worst thing for me. Canceling my editor means that I have no editor's appointments that I need to keep, and I have no books currently up for pre-order. I don't like to play games with pre-orders just because Amazon can cancel your account. Plus, as soon as I put something on pre-order, then I'm making that promise to readers. And even though with Sleepless, I didn't put it on pre-order right away, I kept telling them that book was coming and it never came. And I actually was starting to give dates. Oh, it'll be here this fall. Oh, it'll be here this. And it kind of shot me in the foot. And I felt really bad and really awful. And a lot of people may not care, but I cared and I felt really bad to disappoint my audience that way. So I'm in this weird place now that I have no deadlines. Does that mean I'm going to feel a little bit better? Immediately after I did that update that I'd canceled my editor, part of me just relaxed. I was just like, okay, it's going to be all right. I don't have to worry about, trying to write half a book and make it polished in less than a week, because that's not my jam. But part of me then started moving into but if I have nothing pushing me forward, am I going to get there? I'm one of those people who second guesses themselves a lot. I overthink a lot of things. I have a lot of negative self-talk when I'm writing. I have a hard time keeping my inner editor quiet. So if I don't have something pushing me forward or a date that's set in the future somewhere as to when I'm going to need to have this book done, am I going to be pushing myself hard enough to get it done? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are probably like, well, Scarlett, if you're a writer and this is what you want to do, then you're going to have enough internal motivation to do it. Fair enough. And it's not that I don't want to. I enjoy my career. I love new ideas and getting excited about them and covers and promoting and all that fun stuff. But if it comes down to the writing can be really difficult and can sometimes be challenging. And if I get into a place where I'm stuck and I'm scared to move forward, it's not that I'm not trying to get it done. It's just that time starts to slip away from me really, really quickly because I will spin in circles for way longer than I need to instead of moving myself forward. To try to combat this a little bit, I did enlist some of my girlfriends to be like, hey, this is the situation, this is what happened, and I really don't want to put this book off forever. If there is a chance that I could still manage to get it done in time for when I plan to release it. My original plan was just after Christmas, and I was had put some buffer time into my plan just because they make you submit books a whole lot sooner because of people taking Christmas holidays and all that kind of stuff, which completely makes sense. And I didn't want to put that extra stress on myself. So I figured, you know what, if I had it to my editor in October and I get it done, and then I could have it done by early November, be working on that next book, and then release it after Christmas. Because once you get into the Christmas season, everybody's just, looking at those other deals. I do get some paperback sales, but I don't typically do really, really well pretty much after Black Friday all the way to Christmas. So I thought, you know what, we're going to try after Christmas or maybe latest early January, and that might be the better way to go. So there is the potential that I could still get there. Obviously, I would need to get a replacement editor. I've looked into a couple of other options and asked some friends about things. So there are some options for me if I want to do that, but I'm not sure if I'm going to have the manuscript done in time. So I've enlisted my friends to check in on me periodically. I told them that I would give them updates on how I'm doing and being like, hey, so how's that book coming? How are you doing things? So I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to be enough pressure. I kind of need enough pressure to get to the finish line, but if I have too much pressure, I kind of just shut down. So it's trying to find that happy medium. That's kind of what I'm working on. Plus painting my nails. So how do you deal with pressure? Do you need a lot of pressure to get your stuff done? Do you, are you that crushed coal that turns into a diamond, or are you one of those people that just needs to run everything on their own schedule, or you'll totally max out? Let me know in the comments, as I would love to hear how it works for you. Because for me, this is the first time since I submitted my first, since I sold my first book, that I have never been on a deadline. And it's weird, not gonna lie.
Hey everyone, it's September 29th, and I am here to wrap up this vlog. This month didn't exactly go how I planned on it, but there were some good things that came out of it. my friends have been really diligent at making sure that I'm writing for the last few days, and I have been getting some stuff done. I've been reworking the outline a little bit, obviously, you know, maybe with some frustrations with the plot or why I wasn't necessarily getting the story finished in the way that I wanted to, but we're getting there. So things are moving. Hopefully we will get some major progress in October. However, we also have things like Comic-Con to worry about, so I will be quite busy during that month as well. This weekend I also read the book Seven Figure Fiction, I think that's what it's called, by Theodora Taylor, and it was really interesting. She talks about a concept called universal fantasy. It was a really quick read. She's a very like conversational kind of writer for nonfiction, and it was one of those books where when you read it and you see the thesis of it, you're like, well, obviously, but then you're like, but do you actually look at things that way? And you go, no. And have you actually even really thought of it that way? And you go, no. So it's one of those things that it's like a simple concept, but kind of revolutionary at the same time, which is really cool. And she talks about this thing called universal fantasy, and it's basically why tropes work and why certain things work. She is a romance writer, so I do find it does lean towards romance writers, but it's definitely helpful for anyone. And if you are looking for something to level up your craft or try to get more people interested in your novels, then it could be something you might want to check out. So that's Seven Figure Fiction by Theodora Taylor. So yeah, so that's kind of what I did this weekend. I got some writing done. I'm still pushing through. Next month should be interesting. It's spooky season, so I'm excited about that. Plus, like I said, I have Comic-Con at the end of the month, so I am pumped about that as well. I will also have some promotions and things going on for my books because I do write paranormal, so October is kind of their time to shine. And yeah, so I'm kind of pumped about it. And hopefully you will join me for that vlog. And hopefully it's going to be a lot more positive and upbeat than this one ended up being. But I will see you guys all in October. I have some fun videos coming up and hopefully you enjoy them.